From blatantly wasting money to overpaid executives. Stay tuned to number 1 to find out the 10 worst charities in the world. Number 10. Kids Wish Network. There are a few things more tragic in life than a young child that has a terminal illness or a disease that will likely take their life if a new medicine isn't made for them. To that end, there are many foundations who try and provide an experience for a child based on a wish or a desire that they have. It's a great idea, and there are many who do this deed, but one you should avoid is the Kids Wish Network. They are an offshoot of this type of charity, and instead of doing what they promise, they take 97% of the proceeds that they get and give it to themselves. That's right, they only give 3% of the donations that they get to the kids that they're supposed to be helping, which is even more infuriating when you look at their website and see that they promise to give 100% of the proceeds to children and families in need. Over $110 million donated to this charity has been given to corporate employees, and the founder of this charity has pocketed $4.8 million so far. If you're looking to help a kid get his wish, that's great. Go to Make-A-Wish. They can back up their services with proof. Number 9. International Union of Police Associations. The police may not be the most popular people in the world today, but the fact of the matter is they are people. And they are people who deserve to be taken care of, just like any other person on the planet. A union is a way for these peace officers to get what they need and help when it's required. But the International Union of Police Associations is a scam, pure and simple, as they claim to raise money for these officers and troopers, but do basically nothing of the kind. It got so bad that those who got scammed filed a lawsuit against them, as they should. According to the union, if you sign up, you will receive retirement benefits, health and well-being assistance, and even help finding mortgages, better insurance, or travel assistance. But do they deliver on that? Nope. Instead, of all the donations, they give out only 0.5% of the proceeds to the police officers and their families. What's worse, they actually give away a bulk of the money to a for-profit business that they're a part of. So what's worse, not helping the people they promised to help, or taking their money and using it to try and make more money? You decide. Number 8. Youth Development Fund. Before we talk about the heinous acts of this charity, take a moment to like this video and join the Zero to Hero community by using the buttons below. The youth of our world is what we should focus a lot of time on, not just for their education, but for helping them get out of bad situations so that they don't end up going down the wrong path in life, which takes people who are willing to help them through their life situation. The Youth Development Fund claims to be just that, but in truth, they're not. They're not even close to living up to that promise. For proof of this, look no further than their founder, who only gives 20% of what they receive via donations to the people that he promises to help. He uses the money to fund his own production company, and he makes about $200,000 per year. And despite his promise to push outreach in the communities of the world, his YouTube channel for the company barely reaches anyone at all. And the clothes that they get from donations, they sell for money that they keep themselves. If that's not bad enough, the founder of the charity actually went on to CNN and noted that he didn't feel he did anything wrong, and that it's not wrong to use the tactics that they use to get more money. There's just so much wrong with that statement. Number 7. The Wounded Warrior Project. Okay, in context, this is one of the more above-board charities that you'll find on this list. And there's no doubt that the Wounded Warrior Project helps veterans who have been hurt in action. This is undisputable. However, what is disputable is how much of an impact they're actually having. According to reports, 50% of their donations go to veterans injured in combat. That is a lot, but it makes you wonder, how much is the half that wasn't given away? Well, in 2012, the charity claimed on their tax returns that they got $234 million in donations, which is a staggering amount. But that means $117 million didn't go to wounded veterans. And we consider how many of them are out there and could have used that money for various things, that's not good. What's more, while there are standard business expenses that do need to be accounted for here, the cost of various other things that the Wounded Warrior Project did don't add up. Like employee salaries equaling $30 million? Or $17 million on events and meetings? Again, there's no doubt that the Wounded Warrior Project helps people, but they clearly seem to be helping themselves too. Number 6. Project Cure. If you promise to take money from donations to help fund research on various diseases to try to find a cure, you better do it. And Project Cure doesn't do that. Ironically, they actually have a very good rating in terms of how they handle the donations, but this is clearly a front, or a payoff for what's actually happening. Instead of doing research, they just teach about the disease, which is helpful, sure, but it's not actual research about how to try and fix everything. What's more, a majority of the money goes to the people who try and raise the money and the founder, who gets a nice big paycheck for himself. Thankfully, people are starting to see that this is a scam, and donations to this place have plummeted over the years. Number 5. Woman to Woman Cancer Foundation. When it comes to cancer, both men and women are affected, but women are subject to certain types of cancer more than men, especially breast cancer. To that end, getting women checked out for this cancer and other cancers is crucial. And charities, like the Woman to Woman Cancer Foundation, is meant to help get the women to the doctor in order to get checked out. But in 2013, the financial reports from this foundation were made public, and it doesn't paint a good picture. $13.7 million to solicitors, over $700,000 cash to the charity itself for paying employees and such, and over $50,000 to direct cash aid. When you're raising millions and only paying out tens of thousands to those who need it, you're a scam. Number 4. The Committee for Missing Children. Every day, children go missing from the world, and many of them are never found. There are many organizations that dedicate themselves to trying to find the children that are missing. But the Committee for Missing Children is a scam that preys on the lost in order to make themselves some extra cash. Just in 2014, they raised $16 million, and that's a lot that could be put to good use. But they sent $13 million to the people who helped raise the money. The founders took a $1 million salary for themselves, and that left $2 million to go to the actual purpose of the charity. But the question is, do they actually go and search for these missing kids? Nope. They're an advocacy group, which means that they only advise on what to do and don't actually do anything themselves. The state of Georgia has red flagged this charity to give people warnings as to what it truly is. Number 3. Heart Support of America. Cardiovascular disease is one of the biggest killers in the world, and the urge to find a way to cure and prevent this is paramount. So when charities like Heart Support of America take advantage of those who have it or want to help stop it, that's wrong. During one year, they raised $2.3 million, but $1.9 million of that went to fundraising costs, or paying people for helping them raise the money. Only half of the remaining money was sent to the charity's purpose, and the rest were sent to the founder and the other employees. Always research a charity before you donate to it is the lesson here. Number 2. Cancer Fund of America. Cancer is one of the worst things that can happen to a person. Treatment is not fun nor cheap, and many times it can be terminal, which is why cancer research is one of the most important endeavors in the world of medicine today. There are many charitable funds that try to raise money so that more research can be done and more medicine and potential cures can be made. But the Cancer Fund of America is one charity that does nothing of what it promises in terms of cancer research. They will take the donations from people and shell it off to corporate sponsors, or pay their employees sometimes $8 million. Think about the research that could have been bought, and that was just in 2011. Imagine what the salaries are like now. What's more, when they do try to provide for cancer patients, they do the bare minimum. They once did a campaign to raise money for pain medication. Want to know what they gave the people? Ibuprofen. For real. They also made bogus claims about the people that they have helped, such as how they shipped $35 million worth of medicine all over the world. But even their distribution people came forward and said, no you didn't. According to reports, only 1% of all donations to the Cancer Fund of America go to cancer patients. And that is wrong on every level. Number 1. Goodwill. Yeah, you're surprised to see this one, aren't you? Goodwill may be one of the best-known charities in the world today, but that doesn't mean it's one that you should donate to lightly. This is because Goodwill has been exposed in many ways as being a charity that doesn't exactly live up to the charitable name. How is that? Well, most good charities don't make a profit. Oftentimes, they'll pay their workers or staff the agreed-upon amount and the rest goes to charity, which should mean that there aren't people in this charity making hundreds of thousands of dollars. But in the case of Goodwill, that happens more than you might think. In fact, they've lost numerous CEOs and heads of various branches because they were taking home anywhere from $300,000 to $700,000 annually. Think about that. Think about what that amount of money could have been used for in the world. What's more, Goodwill denies that this happens even though there's proof that it does. What's worse, many employees of Goodwill get paid minimum wage, and some with disabilities get paid even less than that. It's a literal crime and a shame that this happens. Now, granted, not every Goodwill location is like this. Some are really good and honest stores, but you might want to look into less controversial charities to donate your old clothes and items to. Tell us what you think about these charities in the comments below. Any that you do like, any that you hate. Tell us about them and take care.